If you guys want cheap battle passes and bundles from Call of Duty, go to MMOXP. They have fast delivery and use code CHAIN. So it's been a little while, but I wanted to give you guys the top 5 SMGs in Warzone right now. And I wanted to ask, how good is my microphone quality right now? I'm going to start out with the PPSH, and I want to also let you guys know something special is coming at the end of the week, so look forward to that. But we're going to start out with the recoil booster for the increased fire rate and slight reduction of accuracy. Now, don't worry about the accuracy because it doesn't really do too much. I mean, the fire rate's the main thing. Plus, with the PPSH, you're going to want this TTK to be as fast as possible, which means you want the fire rate faster. Throw on the 230mm B03P for the hipfire accuracy, hipfire recoil recovery, and fire rate. Now, you get a reduction of recoil control and aim down sight speed, but all you need is the increased fire rate. Trust me, this is a fantastic move. One for ADS and one for hipfire. Like, remember, you don't even need the ADS with this build. Like, this is a fantastic ADS build, but you can hipfire and absolutely shred with this. You can throw on the slate reflector or the niter or no sight. It's completely up to you. It's all personal preference. You're not going to have any cons though. Throw on the skeletal stock for the sprint to fire speed and movement speed or the reduction of initial firing recoil. Now, if you want anything else, I don't really know the best option. Maybe remove stock for the increased hipfire accuracy, but you are going to get a reduction of recoil control, accuracy, and aim down sight speed. Only real concerns are the aim down sight speed and recoil control. Everything else doesn't really matter. You can throw on tight grip for accuracy and recoil during sustained fire with no cons whatsoever, which is a fantastic idea. Throw on quick for sprint speed. Throw on the polymer grip for flinch resistance and accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Throw on the 8mm NAM Boost 71 round mags for the recoil control and accuracy, fire rate, and magazine ammo capacity with a reduction of bullet velocity and range, movement speed, bullet penetration, and damage, unfortunately. But it's not even going to be something you're going to notice that much. Throw on subsonic for no mini-map ping. Trust me, this is the best thing to have. And throw on M1930 Strife angled for the horizontal recoil control, the only recoil that you're really going to have to worry about with the PPSH in the first place. You're going to get a reduction of aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, but this is going to be the absolute best build for the PPSH. Absolutely insane and a monster of a weapon. Next, we're going to go through with the H4 Blixen, and this thing is an absolute machine. Always been reliable despite all the nerfs that it's went through. Trust me, this is the build that you're going to want to use. Use the recoil booster for the increased fire rate. Throw on the Janssen 9-inch RMK for the damage range, and bullet velocity with a reduction of recoil control and accuracy, hipfire accuracy, and headshot damage. This isn't something you're going to notice in the first place, but trust me, those headshots will still hit, especially with the damage and damage range increase. Now, throw on the slate reflector or the niter or the Magnus CZA. The Magnus CZA is basically going to make it look like the MP40. So if you want to basically have the same feel as the MP40, this is a good move. Plus, you get increased aim down sight speed as well. Throw on the remove stock for movement speed, sprint to fire speed, and aim down sight speed to get a reduction of flinch resistance, recoil control, accuracy, and aim walking steadiness. But trust me, that's not a big deal. Throw on fleet for weapon swap quickness and movement speed with no cons whatsoever. You're going to throw on quick for sprint speed with no cons. Throw on grooved grip for the aim walking movement speed, horizontal recoil control, ADS firing move speed, and aiming stability. Get a reduction of sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed, but that's not a big deal. Throw on the 7.62 Gorenko 54 round mags for recoil control and accuracy, increased torso damage, and magazine ammo capacity. Get a reduction of movement speed, bullet penetration, bullet velocity and range, and aim down sight speed, but this is the best option. The other ones really aren't worth it, especially the Gorenko 36 rounds. It's just, I don't really see the point of really using that when you can have the 54. Throw on subsonic for no minimap ping, and this already has plenty of bullet velocity, so don't even worry about that. And they're on the SG98 compact for aim walking movement speed and reduced scope sway and gun bob. Now, if you want more bullet velocity, you can throw on lengthen, but I just don't really think it's worth it. Next, we're moving on to one of the fan favorites, which is the MP40. This thing has lasted for a long time in the game, and I think that's still worth using. Throw on the recoil booster for the increased fire rate, the VDD 189mm short for the damage range, bullet velocity, and limb damage with a reduction of headshot damage. Not something you're going to notice. This thing has basically no recoil, and it's going to be a very good TTK. Throw on the slate reflector or the niter, or you can use the Krosnick ISO 1M for the aim down sight speed increase. Use the Krosnick 33M folding for sprint to fire speed and movement speed. I don't really see many people using remove stock just because, I mean, it does increase movement speed like this, but at the same time, I mean, you get an increase of hipfire accuracy with a reduction of accuracy and recoil control versus the initial firing recoil control. So, I mean, I feel like the Krosnick is a better choice, but some people are going to choose remove stock, so completely up to you, whatever you want to use. Throw on brace to fix the initial firing recoil. Throw on quick for sprint speed. Throw on taped grip for aiming stability, movement speed, weapon swap quickness, and sprint to fire speed. Throw on the 7.62 Gorenko 45 round mags for recoil control, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and fire rate increase. You get a reduction of bullet velocity damage, bullet penetration, and damage range, but it's all right. I mean, I don't really see a better option. 64 just kind of sounds crazy. I don't really see anybody running the 64, and the Curse 40 round mags is just it's really not it. On lengthen, I don't really think you should use subsonic. I think you need a little bit of increased bullet velocity, but it's completely up to you if you want to use subsonic. And the Mark VI skeletal for aim down, sight speed, and movement speed, and this is going to be an incredible movement build with really good TTK. Moving on, we're using the Pros Arma Guerrera. This thing is absolutely insane and probably one of my favorite weapons to actually use in game. And we're going to throw on the recoil booster for the increased fire rate and slight reduction of accuracy. Move on to the body 570mm precision for the highly accurate and controllable headshot damage increase and bullet velocity increase. You get a reduction of body damage and sprint to fire speed, but it's not even something you're going to notice in the first place. Throw on the slate reflector, or you can use the niter, or you can use the regular sight, or you can use the MMSC, which is basically going to be just a regular like higher sight. It's really up to you whichever one you want to use. Plus you'll get an aim down sight speed increase, but I mean that's personal preference, whatever you want to use. Throw on the Emerito TA skeletal for aim walking movement speed, aim walking steadiness, aim down sight speed, and initial firing recoil. You get a reduction of sprint to fire speed, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire, and hip fire accuracy, but it's not worth looking at the cons. The pros definitely outweigh it. Throw on steady for the ADS firing move speed, throw on quick for the sprint speed, throw on grooved grip for aim walking movement speed, horizontal recoil control, ADS firing move speed, and aiming stability with a reduction of sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Throw on the 9mm 60 round mags. For their magazine ammo capacity, you get a reduction of aim down sight speed, reload quickness, and movement speed, but that's not a big deal. Throw on subsonic for no minimap ping. If you want lengthen, you can put it on there. You'll have better bullet velocity, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like subsonic's a better option. And then the SG98 compact for aim walking movement speed, reduced scope sway, and gun bob with no cons. This is an incredible strafe slash movement build with the best TTK that this gun can actually offer. I think this is a fantastic choice for the Arma Guerrera. Last but not least, we're going to go over the Mac 10. This thing is absolutely incredible, and I think that you guys should try it out. If you don't want to try it out, completely up to you. But for people that like Cold War weapons, this thing definitely takes the cake. We're going to go with the agency suppressor for the sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range. You get a reduction of aim down sight speed, aim walking steadiness, and aiming stability. Throw on the 5.9 task force for the effective damage range, bullet velocity, and strafe speed. You get a reduction of vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control. But the good thing about this is this already has no recoil, so the cons are basically non-existent. Throw on Tiger Team Spotlight for movement speed and aim walking movement speed. The flashlight is going to be visible to enemies, who cares? And you're going to get a reduction of aiming stability. That doesn't matter either. Throw on Raider Stock for ADS firing move speed and aim walking movement speed. You can throw on the Raider Stock as well for the sprint to fire time. I mean, I think that's also fantastic. If you really care so much about that, just the sprint to fire time, you can throw on no stock. But I mean, between the SAS compact stock and the Raider Stock, I feel like the Raider Stock is just a better option. You get a reduction of hip fire accuracy. I mean, they both reduce hip fire accuracy. I just think this is the overall better option. And last but not least, the Staynag 53 round drum for aim magazine ammo capacity, and you get a reduction of aim outside speed and reload quickness. But this is the best Mac 10. I don't really see a better alternative. If I would suggest something else, if you were willing to sacrifice the bullets, and maybe you could take off the magazine and you could just throw on the bruiser and you can get even more better movement. I don't really think that's worth taking it off, because then you're only gonna have like 36 bullets, something along there. I just think the 53 is the best option. Let me know what your favorite SMG in Warzone is right now in the comment section down below, and I'll be making some more top 5s very soon.